this stereotype that women are overly emotional or overly soft in their behavior, or in corporate, if they have to make a point, they have to be overly aggressive.
So, on today's episode of our podcast, we have Upasana Chaudhuri, our ultimate package for the technology arena that women have been dominating over. Upasana is from Kalinka University and has been recently placed in JPMorgan as a software engineer. Hi, Upasana. So, I'd begin by asking you, how did you choose your outfit for today?
Outfit.
Yeah.
I generally don't wear formals, but like I wear whatever I mean, to office also I don't wear formals. You asked me to wear business casuals, so I went for this. But I usually don't wear this. I wore it once, like on my joining day,
Yeah.
because everyone goes in formals and I don't want to be the odd one out. So I wore it once on my joining day, and for summer internship, and then again for attachment, and then I'm wearing it today.
So
I
you're more
generally
of
don't
the
wear
more
formals.
so you're more of the person who
Casual
clings on
outfit.
to the casual comfy side of the outfits. I
Yeah,
mean,
I
yeah,
don't
that
really think about how I'm looking. I should be thinking a bit, but I don't. I don't know why.
I mean that does sum up the developer vibe, to be more precise. Because I mean you either stick to comfy or you just do the development. It goes hand in hand.
Yeah,
So I'd
yeah,
begin by asking
nerd.
you this. Did you always aspire to be a software engineer?
No, I wanted to be a doctor initially. Like in my after my class 10th, I was absolutely sure that I wouldn't take up computer science at all. I was so happy to have my 10th ICSC exam get over. I wouldn't touch my science book again at all. I was very happy. And I was very happy to study biology. I had PCMB, so I wanted to be a doctor, and I prepared full-fledged for 2 years for the medical entrance. I gave the medical entrance. I got a seat also. But at the end, there were some reasons due to which I had to switch to software engineer to engineering to BTech. And I had to join a like Kalinga kit, as you know. So preparing for medical, it's like being a doctor is, it has more than its name, right? You have to uh, be selfless. It's a humanitarian role, and definitely needs a lot of hard work, dedication. So when you're not
That's
audible.
one occupation which puts devotion on the highest level. So
Yeah. Yeah, so when I was preparing for NEET, it wasn't just for the three subjects. It was like quite more than that. And when I came to engineering and I started, my preparation for BTech, it was quite different. The kind of approach the students had was quite different. It wasn't difficult blending with that, but it was a bit awkward. And but I got a lot of support. I got a lot of seniors who would guide me. I was a part of a lot of technical societies. So the way in which I approached engineering or computer science was way different from what I had in way back in class 10. So yeah, like right now, I'm very thankful to whoever has guided me along the way. And I like what I do, and I guess I'm good at what I do. So yeah, that's how I became an engineer. It was never the plan to be an engineer.
That's amazing. I think engineering is the one thing that the most unexpected people choose it. Even for me, like it was very unexpected for me to choose. It's like if you would have asked me 3 years ago, I would have been like, "Are you crazy? I could have never be doing engineering." But yeah, this field, women in tech, if we talk about, especially because not only are we contributing to the industry or the field, but we're also role models for a lot of people. If, you would have asked people or women 50 years ago, it wouldn't have been the most ideal profession to choose, or, there were eyebrows being raised. So it's obviously a field where there's a lot of impact involved, a lot of innovation involved. So I just wanted to ask this one question that what does impact really mean to you? And has that definition changed for you over the time?
Um, so impact is like if you take definition wise, it is any kind of influence that you have due to the course of your actions on your own life or on someone else's life who's around you. So to me, impact, it used to be like big things, visible changes, like if I get to demo my product or my project in front of so many people, or if my seniors come and appreciate me, recognize me for something I've done, or maybe my product it gets launched after a lot of hard work. That used to mean impact. But working in this I work in a very big team. I've realized that impact can be much more layered. Like if you are working on some code that gets reutilized or reused by other people, you're making developers' lives easier. Or maybe you are working on some methodology that gets implemented in sprints and it reduces, say, the effort spent on every sprint. So that is an impact that gets reused even after you've left or you're working with a different set of people or you're working on a different product. So impact in that way can be much more sustainable, it can be much more valuable. So yeah, that is what I feel impact is in my profession.
So, at one point, profession, ethics, and work, they all become such synonymous terms that go hand in hand. So, and a developer's job, especially, it is technically a labyrinth of excruciating long hours of debugging, coding, okay, finding out your mistakes. Sometimes you'll be stuck on a bug and you might be doing everything right in the code, but you still won't be able to figure out what's going wrong with it. So I feel like work outside of professionalism, it teaches you a lot about life as well. So, what is this one lesson out of debugging that you use in the philosophy of life?
Okay. Um, so debugging is like you assign some breakpoints to the code, and then you run the code, and then you check the values of the variables that you assigned, and whether the logic is working correctly, like you want it to in each line of code. And once you get the bug, you solve it, and then you rerun the code again. So I feel this entire process has a lot of similarities with what we have to deal in life. Um, like you need to take every step patiently and you have to run over every step, think about your logic in every, about not your logic, but the way you act in each step. And like once you get the problem, if you have any problem, then just step back and think about your actions patiently and maybe solve it, fix it, take another approach, and then just rerun yourself. Then I guess like that is how debugging has a very strange similarity with what how we deal with life. Never
Truly,
thought about this earlier, how debugging acts.
it's actually like, throughout, even through engineering or whatever field, there are certain things that you feel like, what can it teach you in real life, but it actually, like it's very strangely how these concepts, naturally you
Hmm.
implement it in your real life. Um, so I wanted to jump onto the next segment where obviously we're from a generation where there's a lot of exposure for us. Now, sexism or feminism, these are the words that are creating the buzz. And as women in tech field, we're not really discriminated, and we're judged upon only basis on our work. So I wanted to ask you this, that what did your younger self not see represented in this field, and how are you becoming that for someone else, that role model for someone else in this field?
Okay. So, growing up, I don't know because I've just joined as an engineer just a few days back. But growing up, it was rare, or maybe it was questionable, especially when there was a forum which had both boys and girls. Women taking the lead, having leadership roles, yes, you can see it. But there would always be a male counterpart who would try to overshadow their decisions, or maybe a woman getting a chance to take a part in tech panel discussion, or like there would always be male members who would question that. And how I try to achieve this in I have just joined again, but I try to enforce my point. I try to get it across to the seniors. I try to take active part in technical discussions. Uh, because once you are seen as a weakling, it acts like a stamp on you. It's very difficult to overturn that. So creating your own space in the room is very important. Understanding that visibility is power, and understanding that very early on in your career is very essential, especially to women. Because once you get that you are a soft person stamp on you, it is very difficult to change that. So I feel leading with confidence, not from the start is not possible, but making your own point and making sure that everyone's heard it and everyone has put importance on what you're saying, that is very important in today's day and age for women in tech. Yeah.
So, experience is something that makes life exhausting and interesting at the same time. So, what is this one stereotype about corporate or work culture that you have shattered being a woman in tech?
Okay, I don't know about a shattering, but I'll tell you my opinion. So there is this stereotype that women are overly emotional or overly soft in their behavior, or in corporate, if they have to make a point, they have to be overly aggressive. So I don't think I fit into any of these boxes, like completely. I believe that you can have clarity as well as empathy at the same time. So you don't have to be the loudest person in the room. And it's not possible also for a girl like me. I have a very soft voice. You can't be the loudest person in the room. But at times, the soft, thoughtful solutions that you give, that can leave a greater mark than people who just shouting their lungs out. So I feel, I mean, that's how you can leave a mark and create your own space. That's probably a stereotype that I don't follow.
Yeah, those guys in our classes, and they just keep shouting and they think
Yeah.
they're answering correctly, but then those first bencher girls, they answer, and man is like, "You're right." It's actually, we as women, we are brought up that we are naturally, like, biologically, we're not actually the most loudest, and we're very soft and sensitive people, and people think that that's not a ideal trait for the corporate, but what if it's our superpower and we can actually, lead in that way? Coming to the next question, what does leadership mean to you? And of course, I know, as a software developer, you might not have the most ideal leadership role, but it comes in anyway. Even if you're discussing with a group of three people, you assume some sort of leadership, right? So what does leadership mean to you as a woman, and how do you redefine it through your work?
So as a leader, like for as a woman in tech, leadership cannot get into the traditional molds. Like, I don't think being loud and authoritative would make me a good leader. It is about taking initiative, but it is also about uplifting others, making others feel heard. So it is about the influence that you have on people, but it is also about listening to others before speaking, making everyone feel that they are included. If anyone feels that yes, he's not being able to be a part of the conversation, he's not confident enough, then trying to motivate that person. So it is leadership, I feel. I've not achieved any leadership position as of now. As I said, I've just started. But what I feel by looking around in corporate, I feel that none of your team members should be upset about the work that they are doing, right? They should be happy. They should go home with a smile on their faces. Most importantly, they should come to office with a smile on their faces. They should want to work. Um, I mean, it shouldn't feel like a 9 to 5 job. They should want to be a part of it, right? So that is what I feel that a true leader should care about, instead of being selfish about the work, but care about the members that you have in your team. That I feel is the trait of a very good leader. And I hope when in future, if I ever get an opportunity, I hope to be a good leader. Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about perfectionism. So, do you feel that you need to be perfect to be taken seriously? And if yes, how do you unlearn that?
Yeah, definitely. Again, if you're a woman, it's kind of taken that you have to be like, I need to be correct in what I'm saying, because once I'm wrong, again, there will be a stamp that yes, she's a girl, she doesn't know anything, it's natural. So there is this hidden unspoken pressure of not messing things up. I cannot be the one to mess things up, because people will remember that. Um, and definitely for people who are starting out in this profession, it is something that is very common. But like, if you look at the people who I respect the most, or the people who I try to impress in office, they are also humans, right? They also make mistakes, and they have also learned from their mistakes. So I feel it is okay to allow yourself to be unsure of stuff and give yourself the permission to ask your doubts and clarify, so that you don't make a mistake from the next time. So I don't know whether I've been able to master it, but I really do try to, I mean, not put any unspoken pressure on myself to be perfect. Yeah.
So, as we all know, balance is really important, especially in the tech field. And uh, you are obviously you're a developer, a maker, a thinker, but foremost you are a woman. So who also, we need that personal time, we need that balance from that mundane life. So how do you manage that, and how do you maintain that balance?
Yeah, as you said, balance is very important. It's not just for corporate, like for any field, for any, even for students, balance is very important. So, I believe that having a daily goal is not a great idea, especially with the time frames that we work in, and with daily office, you don't know what requirement comes up every day. and what you need to work on and how much time that you have to devote on that. So having a weekly limit, a weekly goal that you want to achieve is much better than trying to achieve everything every day. And balance is not about doing everything every single day. It's about, honoring or giving importance to what you feel is the need. Like if I feel like, yes, I'm gonna build something today, I have the logical side up today, then I would go ahead and code my stuff out, finish my office work. Or if I feel like I want to take rest, I don't want to log in again today, then I think we should give ourselves a break. But again, that weekly limit is very important, because if we give ourselves too much leisure time, then that's not going to be fruitful. So weekly goals are important, and trying to achieve that and making sure that you achieve that is also important, because maybe weekdays you didn't get that much time, then try to make up for it in the weekend. And apart from your office work, we should also have some time set apart for improving ourselves in whatever tech stack, whatever technology that we feel we should be improving in. So we should be setting some time apart from that. So yeah, that's how I keep my balance. I try to keep my balance by keeping a weekly goal instead of a daily goal that I try to achieve. Yeah.
So, can you tell me about a woman in your life that had such an impact on you that she lifted you up? And how was that moment for you?
Yeah. So I do have someone who I can remember. Like she has played an integral part of my life from a very early stage. So, I mean, she was not just sharp, she was always present in the moment. And like whenever I felt underconfident about the code that I'm writing, she would always remind me of my value. And I mean, she wouldn't sugarcoat stuff, but she would kind of give an honest review about feedback about what I do. And whenever I felt like I wouldn't be able to be a part of any conversation, again, I would feel underconfident, she would always uplift me. So, yeah, she I won't like to take her name, but she has always kind of uplifted me in whatever situation there was. And even now, whenever I have any problem, I'll always call her, and um, like talking to her just makes me feel light, or any kind of nervous situation I'm in. So yeah, it's like women holding the hands of other women.
What would you want a little girl watching you take away, not from your job title, but from how you move through the world?
Um, uh, I would want anyone who's watching me to feel that you don't have to get into any kind of mold uh, to belong to any place. Like you can be smart, you can be assertive, as well as quiet, thoughtful, creative, or curious about stuff at all at the same time, right? And even if people don't expect you to be at a place or take up your own space in any kind of conversation, it's okay to go ahead and make your point. And if you look at successful people, it's not just about the title that they have achieved at the end of their lives, it's about the impact that they have created on others' lives. It's about how they have treated others, how other people think of them, how they have been up every day to 100%, um, and yeah, how they have carried themselves around. So I feel that, yeah, people, if they can be themselves and not fall into the traditional molds, traditional stereotypes, yeah, I would love to, have people take away that from me. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Upasana, for your presence today. Now that's a wrap on today's episode. Remember, your ideas have power, your voice has value, and your story matters. We really enjoyed our time together, Upasana. And this podcast has been a clear demonstration of the fact how, as women, we connect with each other through shared experiences and shared brain chemistry. So, what I have derived from Upasana's life is to stay curious and keep on staying inspired and keep on showing up for our dreams. So, until next time, this is Girlhood Collectives signing off.